Yeah, buddies. How's everybody doing today? It is, what is it today? It's May 15th, 1:05 on the East Coast. And every day, I like to have my partner in justice come on in right about this time. And yeah, he says it correctly. It's officially treason season. This is my partner, Justice Shady Groove. Welcome to the Matrixxx Grooove Hour, buddy.
Hey now, Matrixxx, Patriots, and odds. Look at what you're seeing in your world. Wow, can you believe it? What a day it is. What a week it is. The president is on fire, man. Can you imagine we would be here already, Matrixxx, seeing this much coming out into the public conversation this quick?
Wow, and there's a lot more coming too, and we've got a lot to cover today. But today again, because of you guys, we've got the Patriot flashlight again today, sponsoring this show. So let's check this out.
You like Patriot flashlight? Good job. Speak.
That is the Patriot flashlight, dark to light with that Patriot flashlight, guys. Get over there and check them out. They've been very, very generous to us, and it is the Patriot flashlight. Is the flashlight you have been waiting for. Super bright solar USB charge, seatbelt cutter, window hammer, LED light bar, detachable compass, old school, personal safety alarm, powerful light. It's got, you saw how bright those lights were, guys. I even ran it over with the car and they still worked. Unlimited charging. It was sitting in my car and I'm like, what's that green light? It was actually charging with the sun in my car. It was awesome. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. It's got the personal safety alarm. There's your power bank. And, obviously it's got a seatbelt cutter if you ever, God forbid, need it, or a window hammer. And there you have it. And it is. I ran it over with the car too, Shady. So thank you, guys. It is patriotflashlight.com/product/patriot-flashlight. Enter code ITM20, like in the Matrix 20, ITM20 for 20% off. And go grab yours today. Thank you, guys.
And in the Matrixxx, Patriots have made an impression on Patriots flashlight. I just wanted to give you guys some feedback of our sponsors letting us know that you are supporting us, and that is we could not be more humbled by your support out there. So thank you, Patriots, for supporting our sponsor.
Yeah, thank you very much. And they're very, very thankful for you guys as well. And as are we. All right. So good morning. Maybe it's morning somewhere. It's afternoon where I am. But boy, I tell you, it's been nonstop. Yesterday, we had news that Isaac Cappy was dead at 42 after he forced himself off a bridge, posted an ominous apology to Trump / QAnon. And this is Fox News. This article was published 3 hours ago. And it kind of goes through all of the different articles that we've been talking about. But actor Isaac Cappy died Monday morning after he, quote, forced himself off a bridge in Arizona. He was 42 years old. The story goes around 7:30 a.m. Monday, state troopers responded to call at an Interstate 40 after a man, quote, forced himself off the Transwestern Bridge near Belmont onto the highway. Arizona Department of Public Safety spokesperson Bart Graves told the Arizona Daily Sun. 2 teens were reportedly attempted to stop Cappy from jumping, but were unsuccessful, and he was then struck by a passing vehicle. Now, this is Interstate 40 at the it's at the intersection of Route 66, just so you guys know. Interstate 40, that bridge is right at the intersection of Route 66. 2 teams, it's in the middle of nowhere, guys. And 2 teens were attempting to stop Cappy from jumping and were unsuccessful. And then he was struck by a passing vehicle. Boy, man. Okay, so the story is incredible. I'm just going to say that right now. And Cappy died on the scene. So, first and foremost, I want to just maybe have just a quick moment of silence for Isaac Cappy, because he's done a lot to expose a lot of people in a way, but he was very troubled. So I just want to ask for a quick moment of silence. All right, thank you, guys. So prayers for Isaac Cappy and family and people that loved him. Okay, before his death, Cappy, who had bit parts in the films, including Thor, Beer Fest, Terminator Salvation, posted a disturbing message on Instagram about President Trump, pedophiles, and the QAnon movement. Beware, the man has nothing to lose, for he has nothing to protect, he captioned the lengthy missive. Over the course of the last week, through introspection that should have happened many years ago, I have come to the stark revelations about my character. The missive begins, it is a testament to my utter ignorance that these revelations had not come sooner. You see, I believed myself to be a good guy. I have not been a good guy. In fact, I've been a pretty bad guy throughout my life. We can read this whole thing here if you want, Shady, but I'm going to just continue with the article really quick. Cappy, who admitted to abusing drugs and alcohol, apologized to President Trump and included numerous references to the far-right conspiracy group called QAnon, writing, while I supposedly wanted to make America great, I have not put much work at all into making myself great. To the Q movement, I am sorry I have brought shame upon the greatest military operation of all time. Q says they give people enough rope to hang themselves, and I have hung myself. I have told people in the Trump administration that I am willing to admit my many crimes in a public setting and committed to the execution in a public setting. The troubled actor also referenced allegations he made against actor Seth Green previously, whom he accused of pedophilia, writing, quote, and while it's true I have outed many pedophiles that were former friends, I remained in their sphere for much longer than I should have, and attempted to gain from them after I knew about their actions. Cappy apologized to Jesus and claimed that he may be the reincarnation of Judas Iscariot. In 2018, TMZ reported that Paris Jackson increased her security after Cappy allegedly choked her at a party, and that police were investigating Cappy for allegedly harassing Green and his wife, Claire. He also allegedly posted a threatening tweet indicating that he was ready for a potential shootout with police. And they end it here. If you know someone, if you or someone you know is considering suicide, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. Or 1-800-273-8255. So Shady, let me know. I know you know a little bit more about Isaac than I do. I want to turn it to you.
Well, yeah, I wanted to say a couple of things about Isaac real quick. I think a lot of people out there, the Q people, probably know who he is from the late summer of last year. He was coming out and he was doing periscopes. He was mentioning lots and lots of celebrity names. He was talking about the Q movement. He was talking about the how he felt that he had to come forward and he had to speak, and how that some of this stuff was operating behind the scenes. And this was quite a while back now. I guess I think this was August or so, and he sort of has been quiet for a little while. And recently, he just put up a video this past weekend, and he wrote this long note that's been circulating around here that you see. We don't have to go into reading that, but he was obviously attempting to admit to something. And I think that a lot of people who have been involved in some of the stuff that we as Q know what they're actually involved in, I think in your mind, you play out the scenario of redemption or coming out and admitting to what you have done, and that will help you or save you. But sometimes it's just not that easy. But this, to expose yourself or what has actually been done. So he was being very cryptic in his video, but he also was pretty straightforward that he was not suicidal. Now, you were making reference to this article talking about the bridge. The bridge that we're talking about here was an overpass. It wasn't like a bridge, like a big bridge. I mean, you're talking like 20 feet off the road, long enough for the tractor trailers to go underneath it, pretty much, not very much taller than that. Wouldn't be a very good spot to, quote, commit suicide. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they're saying forced himself off the bridge as opposed to jumped to his death. That is an odd way to reference it. And it's very convenient that they have two witnesses that just happened to be there trying to stop him. It would seem to me like if someone were trying to stop him off of this bridge right here, I think you guys are seeing it now, that would kind of break his fall. It wouldn't be a death fall. And, you would really literally have to jump off right in front of a vehicle. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying this is very convenient for a person who has, within the last week, said he was not suicidal. This happens over and over again. I recognize that the names that he has mentioned are very, very high up in Hollywood. And right now, they are panicking. They're panicking from coast to coast, wherever they're at. So really, I appreciate taking a moment for Mr. Cappy, who was trying to reveal something in his convoluted way. Godspeed, Isaac.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a picture of the bridge on the Interstate 40 right there. This is a first 5D thread that she kind of did. The bridge where Isaac Cappy died is enough clearance for a tractor trailers with a few feet to spare. And she says that normally jumping off something to this height would not result into death. It just seems a strange choice because, if you don't time it right and get hit by a car, you may not pass away if that's what your intended thing to be. Then she goes on to Belmont is an unincorporated community with a population of 500 people. Biz caters to the highway traffic. It's a gas station, one hotel, and a Harley dealer. Having one witness is lucky. 3 is hitting a jackpot. Isaac may have killed himself, but I'd like to know if any dash cams caught it. I mean, obviously, it leads to be questions. And Shady, there was teenagers that allegedly helped stop him, but their names may never be revealed because they're teenagers. And case closed. So
well, yeah, and they can say there were two. Once they say there's two witnesses to something, then they wrap it up right there. There's no investigation. This is what happened. It's over.
Right, and I also
it's pretty convenient.
Yeah, and look, it's okay to ask questions, guys. I mean, I'm asking questions.
Absolutely.
Something doesn't feel right. I want to go to Stormy Joe here as well. He did a pretty good thread about it. Oh, I thought that was. Here it is. There was also a thing here. Isaac did die on Route 66. This is not a game, Q. And somebody said, let me see. The Donald WWG1, we go. Thank you for that. Basically, he asked a good question. Somebody asked a good question. Cappy said, the Q always says, allow enough rope. There's not one post with the word rope in it, just so you know. And we can go ahead and, look at this now possibly being a fabricated story. Here's rope. Here's search. There's nothing. There's no search terms with rope. Okay, so I don't believe Q ever said that. Maybe he's paraphrasing, and I'll have to dig a little deeper. But that was a good question or a good comment out there in chat. So thank you for that. I will dig deeper. This is his last Periscope. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to Stormy Joe Patriots thread here. But I also found something very interesting, too. People, and, look, he died on Route 66, and then there was this, odd tweet with a glove, and it says historic Route 66 roadkill. I hope not, Hanks. Now, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying it's kind of creepy. Just like 23 days before, there was some, there's some numbers. So
there's gematria in this, yes.
Yeah. So, guys, I don't know, but I've always been one to ask questions. I really have. So, I have. That's how conspiracy theories breed. So, Isaac Cappy, good luck to you. Thank you for what you've done for the movement. He's actually reached out to me a couple times a long time ago. He's retweeted some stuff that we've done, and I've always appreciated that.
Yeah, and he also has communications with Tiffany as well, and so everybody is very shook up by this and kind of taken by surprise. But it is what it is. It's interesting. This article right there that you're just reading has QAnon in the title on a Fox News article released this morning.
Oh yeah, and Mike Rothschild was all over it yesterday, saying that QAnon, look at what QAnon does now. But you can't just everybody just tries to tie things to things that have no relevance. They just make the relevance. There's a lot of that going on right now. And John Reagan says maybe his guilt got the best of him. That's true. And I also want to just add this from a personal story, that I know somebody that attempted to take their life, and we had them go up to get looked at and evaluated, and she signed something that I would not take my life, and she attempted to take her life. So I have a hard time just because somebody said that they wouldn't do it. It's just, I just have questions.
I agree with you.
Because
I agree with you there.
Yeah, because this is a deep, dark thing. People just say, oh, come on, just get happy. Depression is more than just, being sad or depressed. It's actually a disease. It's actually something that's very dark and dismal that people cannot control. You can't just snap out of it. It's got to be dealt with. It's got to be dealt with.
Well, yeah, believe it or not, it's exacerbated by the chemicals and the poisons in the food supply. The deep state, the stuff they're feeding you, the things they're putting in the food, are making people more susceptible to these genetic intricacies, right? I mean, that's really what it is. This whole thing that we're seeing evolve with autism / the vaccines / the way people are responding to their environment, and the way the depression, if they can introduce stuff in your food system that makes you depressed, then that makes it easier for them to introduce something to you from the pharmaceutical company to correct that, right? So they got you twice sometimes. And we are navigating a deep state minefield, and the intent was to poison you to the point where you could not think for yourself, and also to get you to do things that you couldn't stand yourself for, and then you would be you'd be willing to do anything to not have it go public. And so it's 1 + 1 + 1. They're working on all of us out there, and not everybody is as strong as everybody else.
That's right. So, let's just keep going, guys, and, we've got a lot of cool stuff to do right now. I saw this tweet yesterday from Lisa Mae Crowley. It says, damn right. Let's give this a listen. Let me just make sure I got my volume up all the way. Hang on.
You want to know something? We always win.
All right.
You know what? You want to know something? You want to know something? We always win.
Boom.
You know what? You want to know?
You know what? You want to know something? We always win. What do you think of that, guys? Shady. Are you tired?
We always win.
Are you tired?
I'm not tired of winning. No.
No. And then yesterday, Praying Medic, Lisa Crowley, myself, and others lost a bunch of followers, but I'm actually back up to where I was plus 100. So I don't know what happened yesterday with Twitter. I went down to 89.5. I'm back to 90.5 thousand. So whatever happened happened.
Well, it looks like they had some sort of a massive purge. And what I was noticing, I don't know if you got some of these messages too, but quite a number of people messaged me saying that their alternate accounts, these are people who have multiple accounts that are following Q, their alternate account was shut down yesterday, and Twitter was acting like, oh, well, there's some sort of bot purge. But like you're showing here, Praying Medic lost 3,000. I think mine was down like 500 or 600. Half of them were back this morning. So I don't know if a bunch of people got them to reinstate their account. I do know that Twitter suspended AOC's real account. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, that Twitter. So I guess they put in, they've had these parody accounts on AOC that are making fun of her, and so they've set up some sort of algorithm to take down the AOC parody accounts, and it took her account down yesterday. So
hey,
I don't know if it was because of the dumb things she was saying or what, but
the eyebrow thing.
It matched their algorithm.
Oh my gosh! So I had 1,200 gone, and then today I'm plus. So I don't know what happened either. I just want to address True Grit asking questions over and over. Your thoughts on I the Spy? What I say about any account, I don't say if they're good or they're bad, because that's the choice for you to know. So just my tweets, look at them with discernment. Look with everything. You need to feel if it's right or wrong. If you have to ask, there might be a problem. That's all I got to say. I have nothing against anybody. Oh my gosh. Oh, Donald, the Mandela effect. We can do a whole show on that. Maybe we will sometime. That's absolutely right. So, just check it out, guys. Like, use discernment. Just always use discernment. I want to go to this one.
Everything.
Pay attention to everything. Exactly. You are the one that's supposed to make up your mind.
Correct.
I'm not supposed to make your mind up for you. Praying Medic doesn't want to make your mind up for you. Shady doesn't want to make your mind up for you. You need to make up your own mind. And that's the way a free society works. You get all the information over here. You get all the information over there. And you make your right decision. That's just it. All right, and me as an anon, I always take my personal feelings out of anything that I look at as far as digging on, as much as I want certain things to be true. For example, I'll just say it, right? Like, this is a great example. Like, oh man, wouldn't it be awesome if JFK Jr. is alive? Heck yeah. Is it plausible? It is. But Q said no. I don't have any proof to say that he is, so I have to say no, that he's not alive right now. And also, with that being said, Q said, let's just go ahead and move on to other things. Maybe it's not time to worry about it, because I know people always say, well, disinformation is necessary. So, okay. So Q said no at this time, so let's move on and dig on what's, other stuff. So it's just, take your emotions out. Like, yes, I would love him to be alive. That would be amazing. But, unfortunately, I can't prove it. But if I could prove it, I'll be the first to tell you. Maybe second, maybe first. I don't know.
Well, there's plenty of future proofs past stuff that we can prove, and that's what we're going to focus on.
That's right. Pseudonym says it good. You just can't pick what you want out of Q to follow. Follow all of it. And we're going to get to a little bit of that too, Pseudonym.
That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you. And that's why we're being attacked, because we are following Q and we are paying attention.
And we are being united.
And, we're going to, what is it called? We're going to prither. What is it called, Shady? Prattle? Oh, yeah, we're going to prattle on and on about QAnon.
I'm going to prattle a lot more now.
I'm going to prattle. All right, so this is Lisa Mae Crowley yesterday. Said that Martha McCallum said there's a new report from Catherine Herridge that says John Brennan is claiming he and Clapper did not want to include the Steele dossier, that it was Comey who insisted on using it. Trey Gowdy's seen that he has seen the docs, and Comey has a better argument than Brennan. So let's go ahead and listen.
That I'm not just interested in the FBI. I'm also interested in the other agencies, which of course would point ostensibly at John Brennan, who was the head of the CIA at the time. So the statement tonight, or the finding in the reporting of Catherine Herridge tonight, says that John Brennan says that he and James Clapper did not want to include the dossier, that it was James Comey who insisted on including the dossier as they were doing the investigation, and also in the intelligence report that was presented to President Trump. What do you think about that, Trey?
I think that it's one more place for Mr. Durham to start. That's a pretty easy thing to sort out. Who insisted that the dossier or the unverified material from Chris Steele be included? But Martha, sometimes when you have two people, I can tell you, having been in a courtroom, sometimes when two people are blaming each other, they're both right. It's both of them. And I think it's interesting. Brennan and Comey right now, the only thing they seem to share is a hatred for Donald Trump. It's going to be interesting if they begin to turn on one another. I've seen the document. I'm not going to describe it any more than that. Comey's got a better argument than Brennan based on what I've seen.
Well, that's
Yeah, they, Q Post, they will start turning on one another as it gets closer. People are going to turn, and we're seeing it now. So I thought that was a very, very good.
Right under the bus he goes.
Absolutely.
And they're literally saying that Comey, that he was the initiator of putting this information in there. Comey's going to come back and say he didn't. This is hilarious. I can't believe that Jim Clapper was on CNN last night.
We could have
telling us. Yeah, he was telling us that we should stop investigating the investigators and get back to the Russian collusion. So I'm kind of thinking we're over that, brother. We're going to move forward, and so your testimony will be needed soon, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phenomenon is down there in chat. Say hello to him. This is his GoFundMe. He has, it looks like some Patriots have actually stepped up. A Patriot needs help, and we're there for him. There's his GoFundMe one more time. And we also have, I think it's Robin Birds. Let me just go ahead and double check that. 1 second. I get this weird thing, Shady, that I got to move the window away from the application. Hang on 1 sec. Let me grab something else since we're going to be talking about some of our Patriots that need help. This is also Robin Birds. I don't know if she's out here or not, but this is her as well. She's in Toronto, and this is for her as well. I'm going to drop that as well. So Phenomenon and Robin Birds. We pray that you guys get the help you need, and God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Yeah, Kathy, I see Rick was traveling all day. He did email us, and we did speak to him, just so you know. And he did a really nice video yesterday, and we're going to kind of get to that a little bit. So stay tuned. And I want to also just move on to this real quick. This is something, if you guys haven't seen yet, this is the I Am Because We Are. They've been doing this for a long time. It's called QAnon The Storm. It's a full book. It's on Scribd. Scribed. It's on Mega, Mediafire, and Scribd. It's a full book, and it's updated every now and again. This last update was 5/2. So if you guys want to check it out there. Tinette Booth says, shout out to Christ Believer and Robin Birds much. And thank you. You guys are amazing. You guys are all amazing. So that's I Am Because We Are, Q book. Check it out if you want to. It could be a good red pill thing. But I was actually watching, Sean Hannity last night, and he used Buckle Up. He used a lot of
information cascade. He said a lot of stuff.
He used a lot of Q words, Shady.
Yes, he did. I know. I saw it too.
Yeah. So hang on.
And it's interesting. It's interesting how like going back. I was actually going back the last couple of days looking at some of the drops about Trey Gowdy. TG.
That was me watching it last night, by the way, Shady.
Yeah, right. That was there, you've doxed yourself, Matrixxx.
Oh gosh, I've already been doxed.
I know.
My privacy has been raked already.
But it was interesting to see what Q has said about Trey Gowdy stepping into a very important role. This seems very important because he was making the comment in real time. He said to the new prosecutor in Connecticut, we might talk about that here in a second, but he said to the new prosecutor, you might want to go check out the in-between emails. So Trey Gowdy is playing a very important role as a person on Fox to be a laser pointer for the investigation. Look at this, how it's all playing out in public. It's very, very interesting.
And us Q people that read every single Q post multiple times over know that it's Hannity, it's
Sarah Carter.
Thank you. We know it's who is it, Shady? It's John Solomon. Sarah Carter, and Hannity. Those are the ones that we really want to watch. And Ingram, I actually like Ingram too. I think he did post Ingram once as well. That's very good. But and
I feel like Tucker Carlson is doing a really good job. I can't believe I'm a fan of Tucker Carlson, but I am.
Yeah, I like how deplorable freedom fighter. Absolutely, my popcorn is your popcorn. You know,
we're sharing that, by the way.
We're sharing all that. It's for all of us, man. If you're gonna bring popcorn, bring enough to share.
Don't bring a little.
All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead over to Carly and watch this real quick with Nunez.
The knowing misuse of the Steele dossier, especially as it relates to the FISA applications. Can you tell us more?
Well, first I'll start with that we want all this information out. Let me say in kind of two tranches of what we're looking for. Number one, there's what we call information on Papadopoulos that we believe is exculpatory that should have been out there, and let's set that aside. The other set is...
Well, slow down. Where is that exculpatory evidence, and what might it be?
So it rests at the FBI. We've been asking for it to be declassified. So that's really all I can say about it. It's just that it's exculpatory evidence that should be provided to the American public. On the FISA application, remember, you have Comey, who has called this a mosaic. So Comey's mosaic. Remember when we came out with our memo that brought forward the fact that they had used the Clinton paid-for dossier, the dirt, opposition research, and then they had leaked that to press outlets, and then they picked up those press reports and used it in the FISA application. Comey said, oh, no, it was a mosaic. There was so much more information there. Well, there is more information there that we think is equally as bad as using opposition research.
Let me ask you this. Is it true, let's start with the first FISA application, that the bulk of information was the Steele dossier, bought and paid for by Hillary Clinton, full of Russian lies? Was that the bulk of the FISA application?
Yeah, so it is the bulk. But remember, what we believe the rest of it is that fills out Comey's mosaic is actually the true definition of the insurance policy. So remember the talk of the insurance policy by Strzok and Page on the text messages? We believe that insurance policy is not just about investigating the Trump campaign. We believe it is to ensure that they were able to get the FISA warrant on Carter Page so that they could go in and look at all the emails in the campaign.
Wow. So, now we've got the insurance policy being talked about, right? Where have we heard that before, Shady?
Where have we heard that before?
Let's see. 3319Q 2935. Here we go. It's talking about Fox News and announces sweeping document requests, declares Trump obstructed justice. And this is 3319. And it says, when the original insurance policy expires, Mueller and you must attempt to protect those in harm's way by reapplying blockade plus mainstream leftist hatred and fake news narrative. Q. So he's giving us some hints. Here's 3319 again, talking about FISA implicates HRC, D party as feeders of false info with the intent of securing MSM and blast insurance. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and drop insurance policy posts here into YouTube so you guys can check it out. What set up insurance file was created assuming POTUS would become the nominee? POTUS 1, Cruz 2. Was Cruz the target of a separate illegal spying campaign? Emphasis on mistakes not corrected. Time to start looking at the other side where the real crimes were committed. POTUS, time to reveal our insurance policy? Truth always wins. And this says, where we go one, we go all. Misspellings matter. Sentence formations matters. Learn. Q. All right. So again, where was Mueller the insurance policy? A blockade designed to limit, restrict POTUS's ability to enforce the law. Traitors. All right. A new investigation designed to be an insurance extension. That's what they're trying to do, right? They want a new new insurance policy. They're trying to, extend it, if you will, again, with these subpoenas and all these other things. So
right, what they get them into an investigation, then they can claim that no one can comment on the investigation. That's why it took him 2 years to start to act like the president's acting right now, because he was under investigation and he's not allowed to speak about it. And there's a lot of stuff coming out talking about this insurance policy. George Papadopoulos is really making waves out there, everyone, because he is saying, this is something that just came out yesterday, and I forgot to mention this to you. I'm going to just speak about it real quick.
Sure.
He's saying that when he was approached by Halpert and this other lady, it starts with a T, I can't remember her last name, that they actually gave him money. So they gave him like $10,000 and in cash there overseas. And so then what he did was, gosh, this guy was so smart. He went to his lawyer and he gave his lawyer there in country the money to hold on to, and explained to them what happened. And this person just gave me $10,000, who we've now determined was a CIA operative, who they're still claiming was some sort of just random person. And then when he came to the airport, guess what happened to him? They took him aside and they tore his bags apart from top to bottom, looking for something in his bags. So they planted the money. They tried to give him $10,000, and then they thought he was going to just walk through the airport with it, and boom, you would have more evidence. But man, he was super, super smart to not go in the airport with that money and to acknowledge to his attorney that they had given it to him. That tells me that, we have been on to this for a long, long time.
That's right. That's right. And this is, I just wanted to bring this in here.
Oh, I see this.
This is a Joe M tweet that just had me rolling. And it looks like the people in chat are like, that GIF though. This is Strzok blaming Lynch, or blaming McCabe, Clinton blaming Comey blaming Rosenstein, Brennan blaming Obama. Okay, guys, ready?
Is that circular? Is that deep state circular reasoning?
It's so funny. I love it. Also, somebody that's been a regular on the show here, Ben Davis Jr. Ben Davis Jr. was interviewed by Kerry Cassidy yesterday at Project Camelot. I'm going to go ahead and show you that video, just where it is, and I'm going to drop that link. I'm actually going to go check it out later. Here's the link for you guys in YouTube. That's Kerry Cassidy and Ben Davis Jr. in regarding Fort Polk, and there's two, and there might be another one there too. There's a prior interview down there with Ben Davis Jr. as well. So go ahead and check that out. We support our own here. Ben Davis Jr.
That's right.
Congratulations.
And we support any creative anons out there that are getting the word out about this stuff. And so please don't hesitate to let us know. We want to share. We want to move the information as fast as we can to as many people that are interested as we can.
Gotcha. Let me see what we got here. Rep. Doug Collins, National Police Week. It's worth pointing out that brave men and women in uniform who stand on the front lines are worth more, frankly, than the single bill the Democrats are bringing to the floor next week. Now, remember, eyes on. So let's go ahead and listen.
Let's remember those this week, especially those who didn't come home. Because, Mr. Speaker, except by the grace of God, I would have not known my father. Because on a traffic stop when I was still a small child, he walked up to a car. He caught a glint of a gun laying on the shoulder of the driver. He fortunately was able to pull his gun, and they stood there for many minutes in a standoff until the gentleman threw the gun out of the car window. That incident almost deprived me of knowing my hero. When we talk about police, when we talk about law enforcement and the other first responders in all stripes, but the police we're talking about today, I just humbly believe that there's more that we can do. And I look forward to working with our committee to do some more throughout this year. But on this week, it's worth pointing out that these folks stand in the line, many of them not sleeping while we sleep, and they are worth protecting. And they're worth more, frankly, than this one bill. And I look forward to working with my Democratic colleagues to make sure that we see more come across this floor. And with that, I reserve.
Wow, powerful, huh? I love it. Thank you, Rep. Doug Collins. And there's a couple more, but I want to quickly go to this one. Let me just find this tweet here real quick. I'm sorry. This one was just uploaded at the end. So we're kind of talking about the brave men and women in uniform who stand on the front lines every day. Let's see what our president had to say.
Thank you very much, folks. Thank you. Please. Thank you, darling. You take care of yourself. Great job. Thank you very much. Oh, she said, no, I don't want to speak. Actually, I do. I like that. I think it's great. Go.
It's something I didn't get to do at the office. I actually want to thank you personally for you're the only one that actually reached out and said, gave your condolence to the family. And it actually means a lot to all of our law enforcement families that are here for the sacrifice my husband and his brothers in blue and sisters in blue have given. So I want to thank you that. And we all, every family sitting out here wants justice for what happened to their loved ones. And that's what I want for my husband.
Thank you. Such a beautiful family. And there will be justice. Justice will happen. We have the people, and we have the spirit, we have the mindset. We're taking care of our law enforcement officers, and we're taking care of everybody. But we cannot imagine your pain. I mean, just doing that, Reggie, thank you very much. Fathom what you've been through. But we pledge to you the unwavering love and support and devotion of this entire nation. We have a great nation, and it's getting better and better every day. It's getting stronger. We're not relying on outside forces and outside countries that don't really care about us other than to take advantage of our people and our system. And our nation is strong again and getting stronger every single minute. Joining the Singhs are...
Yeah, so that's justice. Blind justice. Under the law will return to our republic, and there's a reason why a sword is held. Q. So just these are some justice posts that I absolutely love to go look at. Obviously, we've got some proximity to justice. Justice Q. Justice is coming, guys. Justice is coming, and you heard our president, and that was a very touching, moving time. JT Wild, thank you for posting that. I appreciate it. So that's where we're at. Wanted to real quick. This is a really a good one. This was earlier on in the show. This is John Solomon. I think it's worth a listen as well. Let's get right into it.
For the first time, we know who in the chain of command actually got tipped off by the State Department that Steele had made this remarkable appearance on October 11, 2016. The person she identified is a guy named Stephen Laycock. At the time, he was the section chief for Eurasia inside the FBI counterintelligence investigation, so the division that was doing the Russia investigation. My sources tell me he immediately forwarded Kavalak's information to the team running the Russia case, which would have been Pete Strzok's team. Why is this important? We know from the October 11th meeting notes now that the State Department detected from Steele inaccurate information about his allegations about Russia collusion, that he had an election deadline, a political motive, an election day deadline to get this dirt on Trump out to the public, and that he had been leaking to the media, specifically the Washington Post and New York Times. The FBI should have gone and checked that out. That's what former people who held Mr. Laycock's job today, the prior predecessors say that's what we do at the FBI. When we get a tip-off that our informant is rogue talking, you go back and you check it. You don't just proceed with your FISA and ignore what went on. So a very important development tonight, and a new witness identified for those in Congress in the Inspector General's investigations.
All right.
So there you go. So we've got this new guy too, right? That's helping the Attorney General, and his name is John Dunham, right? And here's our new wrap-up smear coming in 3, 2, 1. CNN comes out and says a federal prosecutor's apolitical reputation is on the line as he helps Attorney General Barr review the origins of the Russia investigation. So they're already on the attack, if you will, guys.
Well, they've already established that the later FISA warrants were completely invalid, and once it's out there that the first one is completely invalid, the whole left media is going to melt because they're all implicated. They all know what they did. Even Chris Hayes from MSNBC is tweeting out how they're working on weaponizing the DOJ. No, actually, we're unweaponizing the DOJ. It's been weaponized for the past 50 years in a really malignant way. And I think that personally, I like the idea of the investigators being investigated. That's exactly what I think our country stands for. And I thought that's what checks and balances meant. And since the Patriot Act, we've decided to just lump everything over here. And now we have these quote unquote 17 intelligence agencies that the president's ignoring. And notice how Chuck Schumer made the point at one juncture that, oh, well, if you go against the intelligence agencies, they have 6 ways to Sunday getting back at you. Well, that's very interesting, Mr. Schumer. So if you use and weaponize our Department of Justice and FBI, do we have 6 ways to Sunday going after you, sir?
Yeah.
Where are we at in this? What is fair is fair. Okay, yes, I want people investigating the investigators. That's exactly what I want to see as an American. I'm not concerned about Donald Trump colluding with the Russians anymore. I'm concerned as how you guys got a FISA warrant to surveil an American citizen based on foreign intel of people who are not foreign. CIA not supposed to be investigating Americans. Just saying.
That's right. And this guy is a federal prosecutor, John Durham. Sorry about that. I said Dunham. It's John Durham. Known for
Durham. Yep.
Known for bringing independent rigor to challenging and politically sensitive cases, just got his latest high-profile assignment. Durham will help Attorney General William Barr review the origins of the Russia investigation, a task that could catapult the press-shy career prosecutor into the national spotlight. Durham is the U.S. Attorney in Connecticut and was appointed by President Donald Trump in 2017. His role in Barr's controversial review has earned bipartisan praise. Trump's staunchest allies heralded the addition of a battle-tested investigator to Barr's efforts, while some prominent Democrats say they are confident Durham will honestly follow the facts and get to the truth. All right, let's do it. Let's get it, Stealth Bomber.
If we want investigations into everything, we want investigations into everything, right?
That's right. Could this be the hammer, as Jennifer says, or could this be the stealth bomber that we've been waiting for? Just interesting stuff. Also,
I love this.
I also want to just go to this here. So a CIA director, an FBI director, and an attorney general walk into a bar. I love it. Joe M., keep them coming, brother. Amazing stuff. But he also said, predictable, anyone appointed to investigate the swamp will be instantly attacked by enemy media, even if they have a flawless record for investigating corruption. Just like this gentleman, U.S. Prosecutor John Durham. So I thought that was a really good, these two, and these two just got me. Also, running the race just kind of had a really good Anon tweet here. Basically saying that the President Trump just beat the Chinese massively and they never saw it coming. And this is an Anon notable, and this is a brilliant Anon's theory on the China tariffs. The Dow down just 1.5% in the last 2 days. No big deal. Trump just beat the Chinese massively and they never saw it coming. Several reasons for this. One, the American people won't pay for this unless it gets through several firewalls. First, importers directly pay tax, and if they want the stuff from China, if they can't sell it, they won't buy it. Thus, it will hit the Chinese as hard as they are stuck with, as hard as they are stuck with it. So if they're stuck with it, they're stuck with it. If they do pay and try to sell it here, many people will just buy cheaper product from somewhere else that will fill the void. Thus, the Chinese still take the hit. They take the hit on the reduced sales, and they take the hit if our importers simply bypass them for something else from some other country that uses people to make things. Either way, all of this has to happen before it will hit our shores. The Americans own capitalism. The Chinese are new to it. We're in capitalism, Shady, this country?
Huh.
That's news to me. Huh. Interesting. Donations are a freedom. The Americans own capitalism. The Chinese are new to it. Add to that, the Chinese break all the rules through things like slave labor, lying, cheating, breaking all the safety rules. Now that it's catching up to them, they are in a huge debt positions. This trade deal breaking down was the final straw for them, and they will now eat $500 billion a year and will not be handing it over to them for their crap. They will also have to pay us to take it as we tariff them 10 to 25% on everything. They are in some big trouble now, and they know it. Trump saw this coming for years, and he did something about it in November 2017 in case the Chinese did this. Trump was ready. They weren't, and they aren't. China thought that we would just agree to anything like in the past, and when we didn't negotiate anything like that, like in the past, we never negotiated. That was the deep state plan to bankrupt the USA and weaken us by war with Russia. Hillary, Obama, and Bush were all in on it. They drove our manufacturers over to China to hurt us. Trump got in the way of all that and is rapidly turning it around. So if the Chinese dump into our treasuries $1.5 trillion, it will raise their yuan and lower our dollar. That will make it even harder for them to sell crap to us. They are screwed any way you look at it. To think that we are so desperate and we have to only buy Chinese crap is comical. Trump has set up several other countries that sell the same crap as his deals in place to keep the supply moving in, while we tax the Chinese through the tariffs billions of dollars because they import so much here. We have had them by the cojones, not the other way around. This is the art of the deal all over again. Once they are dependent on you, you own them, not the other way around. In other words, the Chinese are screwed. Add to what we import 1/10 of what we import to their tariffs on us, we will hardly even be felt. We will simply go around the Chinese for clothes, food, etc. Who wants their nasty food anyways with their ultra low quality standards? And then there's this. China will lose many of the businesses that they have stolen from us over time. They will put pressure on McDonald's, Google, Apple, etc. products because they are American. Those companies will be forced back into the USA or die off from the 25% tariffs and so on. They will leave China or be forced out at some point. So Trump wins this round, and he wins it so big the Chinese never saw it coming. Trump had these shadow supply lines all set up from November 2017 when he quietly visited all of these countries while everybody was busy worrying about collusion delusion fantasies, right? So that's a notable, guys. That is good. Run the race. Great tweet there.
Yeah, great tweet there. And the importance of this for Anons out there. The importance of this cannot be understated. And I'm telling you, what you've witnessed in America happen since the mid-late 90s was a complete transformation to the country that I was a child in, where mom and pop stores flourished throughout downtown regions of the cities. People were out on the weekends. You shopped, you were meeting people, you were going into restaurants, and now you drive through town after town after town in America where there's nothing on the main streets of the city. Partly because of Walmart, partly because of this whole idea of the cheapest thing. I'm telling you, if your money is valuable and you have a choice and you have and you are abundant, you're not going to choose the cheapest thing on the store shelf. So what the president is setting, the president is setting you up for this. He's setting you up for better quality products. He's setting you up for better manufacturing goods. He's setting you up to be an entrepreneur. He's setting you up to say, if you want to step out into the workplace, you can. He's giving you opportunities to learn trades. He's working with the prison systems to try to, right now, we have programs in place where we're training folks that are in prison who are going to be released in careers and in vocation. We need vocation back in our schools. The kid that wants to build houses instead of go to college needs to be encouraged to do that. That's what we used to do. The kid that wants to work on an automobile and get his hands dirty and learn how to take an engine apart We need to encourage that. The kid that wants to go sing and be in chorus, or the kid that wants to go play sports, all of these things need to be on an equal playing field. And we've gotten really, really off here in our balance of entertainment or sports, okay, mixed with the cheapest thing possible. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to balance that with the importance of the future, okay, and something that will last a little bit longer. Look how we've used this microcosm of cheap things from China, the cheapest price possible in Walmart. We're working on changing that narrative. The president has set you guys up as America to win in a major way here, because China cannot come against you. They will not be able to fight this, and they will not be able to sustain a second term of Donald Trump. Trust me. And I got a feeling they're going to be coming back to the table soon. And I also have a feeling that you're going to start to see these huge chain stores fade away a little bit, because they have sold their souls out to China. They have given all of their manufacturing control to them. China demands, if you want to produce there, they demand you give them access to your intellectual property. And then they take that and they remanufacture stuff that's cheaper and compete with you. That is not the way a real capitalist structure works. So we're getting back, we're learning economics, we're learning the value of a dollar, and we're going to move a lot of this stuff out of here and start, you guys out there, start being creative and start making stuff and start thinking about what it is that you can do that upgrades the society that all of your friends and family live in, man. That's the conversation we got to be having.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, brother. And let's quickly well said. Let's quickly cruise over to Rep. Doug Collins. We got a couple more because Q said eyes on Rep. Doug Collins. Let's check this out.
In recent weeks, we've seen a surge of unaccompanied children arrive at the border, brought here and to other countries by smugglers and traffickers. The journey is unbelievably dangerous for these kids.
I know that 1,000 overwhelms the system. I cannot begin to imagine what 4,000 a day looks like. So we are truly in a crisis.
They know they'll be released in the U.S.
If you come now, and if you come as a family or as an unaccompanied child, you will be allowed to stay. You will be released because our court system is so backlogged and our laws prevent effective repatriation, even if there's no right to stay in the U.S.
They know if they come, they're going to be let out the back door.
That's exactly right. And the smugglers are advertising that directly in their hometowns.
Is it a humanitarian crisis or is it a national security crisis?
It's absolutely both.
Rep. Doug Collins says, what's really going on at the southern border? Loopholes in our current immigration system are causing illegal immigration to rise, making this country less secure and putting migrant children in danger. We must close those loopholes and pass the Fix Immigration Loopholes Act. And then I want to go one more here. This is Rep. Doug Collins talking about there is no constitutional crisis here. Past presidents have asserted the exact same executive privilege, from George Washington to Bill Clinton and more recently Barack Hussein Obama. We defend the Constitution and our laws above any person who holds any position in our government. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen for just a little bit of it because it's 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
I think, as we will see today, welcome to a redo of something probably should have happened a long time ago. A deliberative body like the Judiciary Committee commands respect, but only when it conducts itself in a respectable manner. And what we've seen in the last 5 months is their actions have put our influence at risk. In fact, no one on our side, and it's sort of crazy, no one on our side is questioning oversight ability of Congress. I have said it many times when we're in the majority and I have in the minority. Oversight of Congress is a powerful tool and should be used. Article 2 is many times what I have found is members of Congress before I got here, he gave up a lot of our, the authority that we have in Article 1 to Article 2, and that's a problem. However, you use it in the right way. Oversight power is properly done is a powerful tool. But when it is not done, it actually weakens us. When you actually, as the chairman talked about subpoena power, you actually threaten the acting attorney general at the time with a subpoena and then had to back off. A subpoena was not used as a last resort. It was used as a threat and then backed off of. This is what we've seen so far in this Congress. We talked about it last week. One of the reasons I believe we're having this hearing today is to come to talk about executive privilege and to talk about these things is because last week we showed in the contempt hearing that the majority actually did ask for 6E information. Actually asked for 6E information, which they cannot have without going to court. It's in the subpoena, and there's not a law professor sitting in front of me that wouldn't agree that the four corners of a subpoena is what the judge acts on, not the intent of the majority. So when we do this, we continue to downplay the role of this committee. Many of us were lawyers before we became politicians, and I was actually a lawyer and a pastor beforehand. Beloved professions in which reason matters, in which pride, when we come before us today in this matter, I'm glad that you're all here. I appreciate your backgrounds and your opinions, and we're going to hear this today. But again, I think we've come after the fact. We're now trying to go back and lay groundwork for what they may want to do later when this could have been done beforehand. We said this last week. You know, it is often said, and the chairman just said, that the Congress is a co-equal branch. I actually think it is the premier branch because we're the ones that actually start the money. We're the ones that actually have control. We're the closest to the people. We're the ones that have enormous power. And the president does answer to Congress. With all its power to enact laws in enormous breadth, this committee's authority to remove a president and upending the entire election, that is the majority, has chosen to focus on. That's it. For the past month, the Democrats have focused on the few areas in which we are not given boundless prerogative. We know the danger of simple majority rule. We're not a country run by 51% majority. Without a division of centralized power, democracy becomes anarchy, and so the Supreme Court has power. The Attorney General has power, and even if he's not a member of your party, the president has power, which we recognized when Mr. Obama was in power.
Wow,
but for the past month.
This is pretty amazing, and there's about 6 minutes left in this. Definitely check it out. I'm going to watch this whole thing, but basically he's just saying that there's no constitutional crisis here. We're not following the Constitution. We need to follow the Constitution. And he's talking about the executive privilege and the laws. And wow, Shady, what are your thoughts on what our Rep. Doug Collins has said?
Well, I think that he couldn't be more over the target, and I have a feeling that there's not a single person that's with us out there that disagrees with him.
No.
I think that the conversation actually being talked about is vital to us, and it's vital for our way of life. We have a whole group of people out there that does not understand their system. They went through a process that they were told was school, but they seem to leave out some of the very important facts that you would need to navigate your Constitution properly. So for anyone who's a parent out there, I would recommend, especially if you have sent your child to college, to have a talk with them about the Constitution and to try to bridge the gaps a little bit between what you think it means and what they think it means. Because I'm an anon, and I think the Constitution is just as valid today as the day it was written. I do not think it is a breathing document. I think there are parts of society that need to be updated as we move forward and included that maybe weren't included in the original writing. But I don't think it's a breathing document. I don't think it's a living document. I think it's steadfast. And I think that if we want to hold onto our republic, we need to all get on that same page.
Yeah, it's a mindset. It's a guide stone. It's the keystone. Oh my God. Did we just solve it? All right.
We the people.
We the people. Absolutely. All right. So this is Rep. Matt Gaetz going this is Florida Rep. Matt Gaetz. The Dems are in emotional tailspin over the Mueller report, and their stages of grief are on display for the nation to see. Stage 1, denial. After 22 months of lying to the American people, Democrats saw there was no collusion, and they couldn't believe it. Stage 2, anger. The Dems took all their anger out on AG Barr for making a decision on obstruction, since Mueller didn't. They questioned the AG's credibility and allegiance. Stage 3, bargaining. 92% of the Mueller report isn't enough. 5 hours of testimony in front of House Judiciary isn't enough. The Democrats held AG Barr in contempt for not breaking the law. Stage 4, depression. Sadly, then comes depression. Luckily, there's light at the end of the tunnel because the next step is acceptance. once the Democrats finally accept there was no collusion, then we can finally get back on to legislating. Very, very awesome tweet there. Thank you, Rep. Matt Gaetz. I also want to go ahead and play a tune. This is JT Wild, his good buddy and our good buddy. Hopefully Joseph Flynn will be on Monday here on the Matrixxx Grooove Hour. Sent some amazing photos of the Flynn family for this dedication. And JT says, God bless General Flynn and the whole amazing family. Barbara Redgate, MLNR to you too. Thank you for the pain. Dedicated to General Mike Flynn and family. So let's go ahead and check that out. Music break. A darn good one.
I'm here tonight as a determined American who loves our country. And my message to you is very clear. Wake up, America.
Oceans of emotion rise like the tide. You're the sweetest song I know. You're giving me the notion you wanna run and hide from the saddest song I wrote. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Wishing on a dead star I could know who you really are, but it's not that easy. I'm begging to the moonlight, bring me just one more night, but she still fades away. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Thank you for the pain.
As proud patriots who deeply love our country and believe in the principles of freedom, democracy, and
Very
liberty.
haunting, it can be quite daunting, but it still fades away. My pain be a demon, it comes at me screaming, and then it runs away. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Yeah, thank you for the
America does not back down from anyone or anything. That's right. USA.
USA.
USA. You got it right, baby. That is exactly right.
Thank you for the pain, General Mike Flynn. Thank you very much. That's JT Wild. Thank you for the pain. And this version of this video is dedicated to General Mike Flynn and family. Thank you, and God bless you guys. Very well done. You know, JT, you do really awesome videos, I want to tell you. This is a little meme that I did yesterday. We have an army of digital soldiers for General Flynn. Also want to leave you guys with something funny. Check this out. Saul Memes says, what's with liberals and their eyebrows? Let's check it out.
All your insecurities. Don't you love when you go to like the nail salon or you go wherever and people try like pointing out all your insecurities and stuff? Like, I just went to the nail salon, okay? just so I can feel human. Nothing special. Just trying to get some paint, cut my cuticles, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm painting my nails, my nails are getting painted, and the woman's like, "Your eyebrows are too big for your face." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and she's like, "Mustache?" And I'm like, ah! I'm like, first of all, I thought I came here to feel good about myself. Second of all, what if I like my mustache? You ever think about that?
Wait. Oh my gosh, you just can't make it up. No. And then we're going to go, this one reminded me of nothing can stop what's coming. As the targets turn to the other side, the attacks will intensify. We have the source. Here we go.
Durham's appointment means that the already occurred meetings between the Attorney General, the CIA Director, and the Director of National Intelligence have now focused on a laser that the core of this conspiracy began with John Brennan and ends with John Brennan. This is very serious business, and for the first time, I now believe that some of these guys are going to go to prison.
And you could tell by how angry they seem to be getting. James Comey with his emergency town hall constantly is chirping in the background. You watch James Baker, who's the attorney, general counsel for the FBI. He is out there trying to get his story out. We saw the division between Comey and McCabe about their stories in the fall of 2016. They differ with each other. And now we're going to see perhaps the division between Comey and Brennan as it relates to the dossier and everything else leading up to the investigation on the Trump team. Here's John Brennan mocking the idea of a deep state.
I think they're trying to imply and to really, indicate that there was misuse of authorities. That was not the case. Does CIA spy? Yes. Do we spy against our foreign adversaries? Yes. Do we spy against domestic individuals? No, we do not. We work very closely with the FBI. If they look back at it in 2020, are they going to find that there was something that should have been said differently, whatever they might? But I think that's what they're trying to do, is to uncover something that they will misrepresent as being part of this deep state effort to try to undermine Donald Trump's election. Cheered.
They just started this investigation. He's already making excuses for what they're going to find out.
Right.
Boom. Somebody's going to prison.
Treason season.
Treason season. I want to show you guys this too. This kind of is amazing. Let's just watch this. The president is cruising into Air Force 2, I believe they call this, right?
Marine 1.
Marine 1, excuse me, thank you. And there's a hat missing. He's got his Marines covered. Look at that respect. Look at that respect right there. That's my president.
Well, it's the same you see when he interacts with people anywhere. Do you notice how he really looks at people and he really listens to what they're saying? I mean, how many years of puppet people in that office, they look right over you, they talk right over you, they act like you don't even exist. It's amazing to see the amount of time and energy and effort that the president puts into the people he is dealing with in that moment. It's like he lets go of all the other stuff and he deals with the person, with what's going on with them genuinely in the moment. Yeah. And that is amazing. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, and this could be a slam against people that we know. And anyways, thank you, Joe. And remember, the brain is much sharper also. I am not cereal brain. So this is Paul Bedard saying, look at this. Look at how good. I mean, he's 76, Joe Biden, and our president is 72. But look at that, guys. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. My vote's in for Donald Trump, no doubt about it. And I did say you are in amazing shape mentally and physically. I do believe that. I know people that are 72 years old, and our Donald Trump is getting around pretty darn good, guys. And there's a lot of good comments under there. So I basically agreed with our president. He looks great. A lot of presidents right now will be all gray. Obama was all gray after his second year. So I tell you, There's something to it, man. Yeah, our president looks really good. Now, the last
There's
thing,
something to living in love and light.
yeah, and there is. And there's one last thing that I want to just ask you guys. Does where we go one, we go all mean all? Does it? That's a question for you guys. Do you guys want to restore the Constitution? What is the First Amendment? Are you ready for real freedom? Are you guys really ready for real freedom? You ready? Because our First Amendment says this: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and petition the government and for a redress of grievances. Right? So you guys are ready for that, right? I'm ready. Because there's going to be people that you don't like getting louder, talking about stuff that you might like, and you might need your little way to, go in the, go into the, what is it called? The shout at the sky mode. Because where we go one, we go all does mean all. And this is Rick from Bless to Teach put this together yesterday. And he explained it. The true patriots is the circle, the purple circle. And that's who Shady and Matrixxx go after. And he goes after the Christian patriots, the Protestants, the evangelicals, and the Catholics, and the Pentecostals. But the ones on the outside of the green circle are not woke, so he doesn't go after them. Well, I go after all of them. Shady and I are including everybody in here, even the Bible Christians, biblical Christians, the Protestants, the evangelicals, the Catholics, the Pentecostals, the atheists, the Hindus, the Jews, the Muslims, the Christian cults, whatever you want to call them. That is all, people. Where we go one, we go some. Where we go one, we go just what I believe in. Your guys' view is gonna be, this is a great awakening, guys. Right? And let's look at religion posts that Q says. Look at this. People are pawns and they're sick of the game of global domination. People are divided to prevent a rising of the people. People are divided and taught to fight for themselves instead of the ruling class. Race versus race. What?
Religion versus religion.
Oh. Interesting. And you guys want our First Amendment, right? Am I wrong or no?
I want the First Amendment. I want the right for everyone to speak their truth to whomever they choose to. Freedom of speech means your right to speak your truth.
And Hitchhiker, you can ugh all you want because you're coming with us. I accept you for you.
I do too.
You're coming with us. You guys need to realize that this is 5 times Q posted divided by religion. Divided by religion. Divided by religion.
Like 6,000
divided
years.
by religion. Ask yourself a question. Why? All right? It's truth for all. And I'm getting all these comments saying, don't go because of Neon Revolt's article. Give me one fact, not a wrap-up smear like Neon Revolt did. Not tying him to John the God and Merv Griffin and 322 and all this other crap. Show me one bad thing. Fact, not how you feel. Fact, because remember what I said earlier. I take away all my emotions, and all I want to do is consider facts. Whether I believe in it or not. And that's what I want to just end you with. And I wanted to thank Bless to Teach for this as well. This is the graphic he used. But he wasn't talking about these people because they're not woke yet. But they will be. So he does mean these people, I'm sure. But the video is in this tweet as well. I'd like you guys to all check it out. If I'm going to go talk to Buddhists, does that make me a Buddhist? If I'm going to go talk to atheists, does that make me an atheist? If I'm going to go talk to Protestants, evangelicals, Catholics, Pentecostals, Muslims, Jews, does that make me them? Or does that making me talk about truth?
My path is inward. My path is light, and the light is inside you. And until we all wake up and recognize that you're not looking for the answers under objects in your physical world, the answers are inside you. The answers are your truth, your spirit, not something someone else has told you.
Yeah.
The answers are inside. All the answers lie inside you. That is the trick to all of this. They are inside you. And my freedom to find my answers does not impede your freedom to believe what you want to believe. And that is what freedom of speech means. That's what it really means in the Constitution. That's what we all mean. That's what I think Q means. Do not feel like I'm taking liberties with that.
Here,
Divided,
lady,
we fail.
Lydia says, I hope you guys are not walking into a trap. You can talk to them, but you have no home court advantage. We'll talk to them. What are they going to do? Egg us? I mean, I've got my armor of God on all the time. How's that a trap? Talking to 400 people streamed worldwide with live translators. Trap.
In 100 countries.
In 100 countries. What are you doing today?
Interested in Q.
What are you doing today? Are you arranging for us to speak? Do it. Let's go. Let's get off our butts and here we are.
Let's
it's
organize.
A trap. Don't do it. Oh my God. Here's no facts. Come on, guys, man. Give me facts, please. Keyboard warriors. All right. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about it. But Bless to Teach did a good video. I thought I added. Oh yeah, here it is, right here. Get over there and check it out.
Bless to Teach show. This
there
is Rick, your host,
and he
here
talks about
on Tuesday, May 14th.
And that's all I got, Shady.
We're live on YouTube pretty late at night. I'm traveling.
And he actually does a really good breakdown of what it is. But I think it's all because you are being tested by Q. Let's look up divided, guys. Do you want to be divided? Is this a dividing topic? Why? Why is it divided? Why? How many times has Q said divided? 37 times. How about united? How about our First Amendment? How about it, guys? How about it? How about it? And who's directing me to do stuff? I mean, he's got to stand down now. What did he say? Full stop now. The sooner the better. What are you going to do about it? You're infringing on my freedom to speak. Okay? Okay. What do you think? Shady.
I think that freedom is going to be hard for a lot of people to understand. I honestly do. I know it sounds simple, and I know that, I've spent 25 years of my life attempting to understand why we do not have freedom and how are we going to implement it. And this is the only way I can see to implement it is all of us to get together and wake up and realize that if we don't work on this together, then the dogmatic institutions that currently have you separated will keep you separated. That's all I can say about it, man.
Yep, and yes, you have the right to say you hate people. That's what freedom is.
Yep.
You have a right to say they're stupid. You have a right to say they're smart. You have a right to say you agree with them. They have the right to say the same thing about you. That's free speech, guys.
Absolutely.
This is a great awakening.
That's what's awesome about it.
And if we're not going to go through this great awakening, which is a freedom of thought, look, I've seen that the SPLC labels certain people as cults. I've seen Soros organization newspapers label people as cults. I haven't found one bad thing, fact, yet to say that I haven't. And if you guys can give me fact, bring it. Shady, I think I sent you an article today that, let me just, because I'm digging on it too, guys, believe me. We are very careful at what we're doing, and we are going to hold ourselves to high standards, guys, and we always will. And there was an article, and it is, in the retreat, Ramtha questioned the girl and her father, Geese and Martin. The inquiry took place on the stage in front of an audience over 800 people for about an hour. Geese and Martin confessing to having molested the girl. The school contacted the authorities. Charged with 10 counts of first-degree sexual misconduct with a minor, Geese and Martin pled not guilty, and the case went on to trial. That's terrible, Shady. Wow. That sounds pretty good to me. You guys? Shady?
I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to contact law enforcement whenever things like this happen and make it available for them to have the evidence.
Right. So if you guys stand with us, I I appreciate it. If you guys need some time to think about it, I understand that. So press 45 if you want your Constitution renewed, which does mean reinstating the First Amendment in full. Whether you like people worshiping a rock or that leaf on the tree on the outside of your door or whatever it is, guys, do you want your country back?
I do.
Look at that. Look at the 45s. And it's called freedom, guys. Jay-Z Knight has the right to worship God, and she does worship God and Jesus any way she wants. So does the Catholic Church. I don't agree with it, and there's a plenty of fact against the Catholic Church that that's a cult. Yet I don't hear anybody screaming about that, except for Q and us. Well, I do hear people screaming about that. I take that back.
Only in our world, though, everything that's in the mainstream media and all of the controlling arms think that it's hate speech to say that the Catholic Church is doing the things that it's actually doing.
So does does my friend's brother, who's a pastor, who goes to prison to speak to criminals, does that make him a criminal? Guys, What are you guys thinking? Right?
Looks to me like they're right there with us, my friend. Look at those 45.
I love you guys. Thank you for understanding. And it is all. There's people that might not agree with what you're doing, but you're free to do as you wish in a free country. And just because you associate with somebody doesn't mean you are that somebody, people. It means that, Q didn't say follow the light. I only go to the light. Q light didn't say Q. Yes, Q said follow the light. And I have the light within me. You have the light within you. We are God's children. We're part of God, right?
We each carry a piece within us, all of humanity, regardless of your beliefs. So whatever, we all carry it, no matter what you believe. You carry a piece of your Creator with you, no matter what you believe. Even if you are twisted, violent, messed up, whatever has happened that you've been shoved through the meat grinder in this physical world that we're in, you've still got a piece of the Creator in you.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. All humanity does. There are a cabal of creatures roaming around in this realm that do not. And that is why they're different from us. They do not have empathy for afraid children, and they do not have empathy for injured humans. They don't have empathy for destroyed civilizations. You do. Humanity does. That's unique to you. And the trick that they pulled on you is making you think they don't exist. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Is trying to show you that they do exist, and they are consuming us on more levels than analogies.
And Lady Lydia Dara there says, I hope I said your name right, because I respect you, and I want to answer your question. Neon should have called and talked to you both first. Yes, he should have. Instead, he contacted a felon who's guilty of prostitution that renamed Jay-Z Knight's ranch or house the farm to usurp it to a Q post. These guys are sick. These people are sick. Jay-Z Knight lives in that house by herself. It's not a cult, guys. You guys need to really wake up. I mean, we all need to wake up. I'm still waking up every day. And I think this is a test for you and I, all of us here together in this forum, to speak maybe some things that might not be, we're already being called a cult. Here it is.
The same people that are calling me a cult are calling them a cult.
Right. Do you understand? 5-5? This is about freedom. This is about individual people that have the same. They wear Q shirts, and that was made fun of. That was mocked. I love when people wear Q shirts. I post it. Look what was spotted. A Q sign, a Q shirt. Be loud, be proud, be heard. Shady. That's all I got on that subject. Guys, unless you have any questions in chat, let me know what you guys think.
We're not going to do anything but be transparent, open, and honest, and we're going to let you be the judge for yourselves. We are all walking a journey here. None of us came with an instruction manual. Matrixxx, did you get was it your instruction manual taped to your butt when you were born?
No, wasn't.
I didn't get mine either, and so I'm doing the best that I can here. And the only thing that I know is my inner self tells me that love, light, and freedom are synonymous with one another, and there could be no more noble cause than to stand up for others' inner love, light, and freedom. And that's what we all want. That's what we're all fighting for, and that's the page that we're on, and we're just trying to get everyone lined up to understand this. This is not going to be easy, and the attacks are going to continue, and we're going to continue to speak truth to power. And that's just the way it is. So we love you guys. Love all of you guys out there. I know that we're getting ready to have to squeeze back down.
Jason Briggs says Cult 45, badge of honor. I love it. Maybe we should be Cult 4517, right? And I love it. Hey, guys, I'm sorry for kind of going off a little bit, but I really do believe we are being challenged by Q. Because this religion versus religion, race versus race, class versus class, political versus political, when you're divided, you're weak. And when you're weak, you have no power. And when you have no power, you have no control. Stay strong, Patriots. Stay united, not divided. You are what matters. You awake is their greatest fear, guys. Really. And anybody has anybody has anything to say about it to us and have actual facts, I would love to entertain it. I do understand people's positions because of what our belief systems are. I get that. It's a dogma. And, if you look at Q posts and, we got to read Q, guys. I'm not so sure Neon Revolt reads Q. Look up dogma. It's 3 times in here, guys. When non-dogmatic information becomes free and transparent, it becomes a threat to those who attempt to control the narrative and or stable. Free thought is a philosophical viewpoint which holds that positions regarding truth should be formed on the basis of logic, reason, and empiricism, rather than authority, tradition, revelation, or dogma. When you're awake, you'll be able to clearly see. The choice is yours and yours alone. Trust and put faith in yourself. You are not alone, and you're not in the minority. Difficult truths will soon see the light of day. Now, we also see the same kind of people attacking Donald Trump. Do you think you could Google Donald Trump and find a negative comment about him? I'm sure you could. 96% of all Donald Trump reporting is negative. So, guys, Shady, go ahead. Final thoughts. We've got our outro pick. I think that's enough on that subject. Guys, I love you. Much love and light to all of you. God bless you. Shady.
Squeeze, Matrixxx. We got to squeeze. I know that it was a hard transition to get up to this size, but now we got to squeeze back down and jump through this phone.
Let's
you
get
guys
out of
are
this
amazing.
Matrixxx.
We got to get out of this Matrixxx for today, but we will be back tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. I love you guys. I love this movement. I love my president. I cannot believe that we have come this far in a year, guys, but we are still got a few steps to take. Don't stop now. Keep fighting. Keep being loud. Keep being inspired. Inspiration is your key to your life. Look at it. Analyze it. What inspires you? Look within. Find the light, something that makes you light up, something that makes you happy. What inspires you? From that inspiration, operate. Whenever you feel down or out or whatever, fall back to the inspiration and find your line of sight, guys. We got to get out of here, but that's the message for the day. We're all in this together. We're all going together. I love Anons. I love POTUS, and I really appreciate being here with you, Matrixxx. And with that, let's squeeze this back into the phone.
Yeah, thank you, Shady. Thank you for being here as usual. You guys are awesome. Where we go one, we go all. Yeah. All right, where we go one, we go all, guys. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you, Patriot Flashlight. Patriot Flashlight, go over there. Use code ITM20. The link is in the YouTube right below this video. We've also got other things down there below. We've got the PayPal, the Patreon. Buy us a cup of coffee if you want. We got the website. We got the Q post. We got a lot for you guys. We're doing it, and we're gonna rock out of here now. intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com, at Shady Grooove with 3 O's, at intheMatrixxx with 3 X's on Twitter. You'll find us there. YouTube.com/C/intheMatrixx with 3 X's will find this YouTube channel that you can't search for. Oh, I forgot to say prayers for Jay Vega. She's at a funeral today. Much love. Much love, Patriots. See you guys.